I'll let you introduce it because you are quite cool.
Hello and welcome to the Video Gamer UK podcast. My name is Chris Brett and we've just got another three-man podcast this week. It's what's going on?
Everyone's doing stuff.
Yeah, so they say. We've got our boss and our friend, Mr. Tom Ori.
Our friend?
Yeah, like as a collective. Everyone listens to the podcast.
Right.
You're a friend.
I'm not really friends with the listeners or you.
Okay, good.
So just Dave.
Just
really.
Dave, wow, okay. And known to at least one man in Croydon as King David. We've got David Scammell.
King Arthur approaches.
That was...
He has many questions.
See, that's an in-joke that no one's going to get. Do we need to quickly explain what that's
Well, they
about?
might have seen my tweets, some of the guys, the other night.
Yep.
Yeah, we ended up in a pub playing chess with a Colombian pirate named Ricardo.
And we got swindled. Let's not pretend we didn't.
You got swindled. I knew what I was getting myself into.
Every time he beat us at chess, we would then buy him a drink. I think we were marks from the moment we walked in there, because that was a pub for locals, wasn't it? Really?
Oh, it was.
Which pub was this in Croydon?
It's the Spread Eagle.
Oh, right.
There you go. If you're in Croydon, want to meet us, the Spread Eagle.
Well, no, because
we'll be playing chess with a pirate.
We weren't locals, and I think everyone knew.
You're
that
a
when
local?
we walked in.
Of course, you're local.
Yeah, but not to that pub. Like we walked in, we tried to go upstairs. You're not supposed to go upstairs. It was
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
That
we were
pub
immediately
upstairs is where the now departed Simon Miller was first interviewed for this job.
really.
Really? Wow.
Oh man.
In a pub.
We just walked straight upstairs. We didn't know you weren't going to get up there.
Well, you are. It was just there was no one there. It was really weird.
It's very quiet.
Yeah. But yeah, we got swindled out of drinks by a chess legend.
This whole
in Croydon.
situation sounds very you, Bratters. It's like turn up to a pub, end up playing chess with a pirate. Doesn't happen to normal people, does it?
I like Ricardo.
He did encourage it. Brett was a little bit...
Brett wasn't having a lot of fun.
No.
Did he start using all these big flamboyant words?
No, he just didn't say anything,
No,
really.
he just went entirely quiet.
Him, Bratters.
Oh, Brett... no, he just got a bit laddish.
I did not.
And he was like, hey, all right, Ricardo, hey, oh.
What?
Like
I've
that.
never spoken like that in my life.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, there's a little bit.
I haven't said hello to all of the sexy people at home.
Good.
You're all wonderful, and I love you very much.
Well, I'm glad that we've now. I feel we had to explain King David. Otherwise, it's
King
weird if I
David.
just start calling you that. Yeah. All right. Cool.
You are dead.
This is.
You are dead.
What Dave is doing there is repeating some of Ricardo's key catchphrases.
I won't repeat one of them.
Yeah. I think we should probably leave it there. Leave
Ricardo.
Ricardo. All right. Who's been playing what? Anyone been playing anything new this week?
Yes.
I know what Tom's been playing.
Don't talk about that yet.
We'll come back to
Keep
that.
people waiting for that.
Well, look, I've been playing a game, but I don't know what I can say.
What game have you been playing?
It's a racing game.
Right.
Forza Horizon 2.
You can say you've been
We
playing it.
played an hour of it. We can talk
Let's
about
pretend
that.
you've been playing the demo, Dave.
Right.
Now.
Or the hour that we were allowed to.
Let's not pretend. You've
allowed
been
to
playing the
stream.
demo, haven't you, Dave? Forza Horizon 2.
No, I played an hour of the full game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, oh well, which is pretty much the same as playing the demo. We quickly realised whilst doing that live stream.
It's really good, isn't it?
We had to race to a new area for the very end. Was that a new area? Did you have
Nice?
yeah.
I still haven't worked it out.
Oh, God.
I don't know. It might be. But even if it wasn't, Microsoft's talking about it now. So
All right, cool.
even if it was, whatever. I'm doing that English
How
thing.
does it work going to different, like, because it's set in, 3 different countries, is it? Or is it all set in
Wow.
one?
I mean, it doesn't do a very good job of explaining that if it is.
Is it just like the areas from different places all in one big lump?
Which is a big world.
Oh, really? Oh, right. I thought it was like the bit we were playing. I thought that was based on the south of France.
Oh, no,
or at
it's
least part
based
of it.
on that.
Is it also-
But there's no, like, borders. You don't need to
Because-
do, like, passport
Because it's
control and all
Italy,
that.
isn't there as well, or is there not? Have I made that up?
Well, I think so, isn't it?
But you don't
Southern
go through,
France
go through
and-
like a border control section.
No, there's no...
Unbelievable. That wouldn't
You don't have
happen
to
in real
evade
life.
the cops when
I
you
bet-
go through with an expired passport
Yeah.
or without your visa.
Oh, I could,
Not naming any names.
wow. I could, yeah. So you just kind of what's the other country? Is it?
We just said this,
You
Braz.
said Italy,
France, and Italy. I don't
You
know
said
what
there was a
Tom's
third
talking
one.
I thought
about.
there was another one, but maybe I made that up.
Yeah, so what, you want to know how you go to these new places?
We just drive around, presumably.
Well,
It's called a road trip.
Is it open from the beginning? Can you go anywhere, or is it all locked off?
from the very beginning.
Well, like, once you do, like, the opening bit, there's bound to be, like, an intro bit or something.
I think it's kind of linear for an hour. But basically, you do these things called road trips, and that's how you start the game. You go on a road trip to...
We've already said that, Dave.
I know. To the first area. I can't remember what it's called. And then you do a championship. And then you do another road trip off to a new area. And you do a championship there. And that's how it works. You keep... Every time you do a championship, which is essentially 4 events, 4 races, you then have to go to another area of the map.
You've
and
done an incredible job of making that sound really boring.
No, but that's the problem, right? And again, this is based off the first hour.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Who knows whether it's all going to be like that through the whole game? I do not know this. But that structure would suggest that it would get quite repetitive, wouldn't it? And I think it's the open world that would break it up. So yeah.
How many, like, from what you played of the first hour, how much of
You
it is...
just keep saying that over
How
and
much
over.
of it is, like, built up city-type town areas?
Within the first hour?
Well, yes.
It depends if you decide
What
to explore.
Right.
If you were to explore
just
the
go
whole
with it.
map within the first hour...
There is one big city. Nice is the big city.
Right. And how big is it? Like, is it, like, numerous courses within that city?
Yes.
And so
It's big enough to accommodate some circuits, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Basically, I'm saying, how much like PGR is it?
I wouldn't say it was... I would say it was more a mixture of dirt and grid.
Right.
So you got the street racing of grid in the city stuff, and then
The
you've got the
off-road
off-road
fun.
stuff from dirt.
And also the obnoxious British people talking about party vibes.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting... I
Of
kind of
dirt.
like them now.
Even the main British guy.
I don't know.
He's a real prick.
He is a knob, but at the same time, he's like one of those knobs that you'd sort of punch in the face and have a laugh with him afterwards. He'd be like, hey, just a bants, just a slap in the face. Hey,
He would probably use the word bants. As
come
well.
listen to the music, chill out, bruv.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy he is, isn't
It's,
in it?
It is strange. The whole Horizon Festival.
It's the party
atmosphere.
vibe.
Yeah.
No, but that's what it is, though, isn't it? It's one of those. It's quite an easy to play game.
It does the whole festival aspect better than...
Better than the original.
Based on even the first game, but I'm comparing it to, say, Motorstorm, which was like another festival-based racing game. There was never a sense that there was any festival going on in those games.
And I'm still not convinced there is here within the environment, other than the sort of hub. Well, no, hub's the wrong word to use, but those festival-specific areas that they have, the points on the map where there's people sort of jumping up and down and bouncing and stuff. I mean, the radio does quite a good job of keeping them going, Horizon Festival, there's this guy you should look out for, he's doing really well. Yeah, we were partying last night, yeah. And it's got like... so it's
Loads of drugs.
It has Hospital Records, which I've been led to believe is a popular drum and bass label.
Right.
And they got those DJs that sort of sound a bit like Pete Tongy on the radio, yeah, Friday night, yeah, having it large, all that, yeah. So it's got all that kind of atmosphere. And the radio is quite cool. And it uses it... It almost uses it as a tutorial in some senses. It doesn't... There's not these areas where you're like, right, you've got to complete this to learn how to do this. The radio announcers will say certain stuff and you'll be like, I see, I can do that, right. And it's quite cool. It's quite cool that works.
The radio
But this is all based off the first hour's play,
of
obviously.
course, yeah.
Dave, when you did a video on this game a while back, you were quite critical of the way it looked in places.
I need to apologise.
Go on.
Let me just take a gulp of juice beforehand, because this is going to take some doing.
Yeah. You need to be hydrated for this. Great. Lovely.
So yeah, I said that the environmental detail wasn't all that. And
Is that a direct quote? It wasn't all that.
in comparison to Drive Club, I don't think it is. But I went back and played a little bit of the original Horizon like at the end of last week, and that still looks all right. But compared to Horizon 2, it looks like utter guff. So Horizon 2 is a very pretty game. Some of the water effects, though, I think the surface, when the water's on the surface, I think it just doesn't look quite right.
Yeah.
It's almost like totally bleached out gravel. Like,
Yeah, whilst I was racing my ultra-fast sports car, I couldn't help but notice the
Shut up,
water on
Brad.
the
And-
surface just wasn't quite.
And-
that tone is
My goodness.
very bad, Brad.
If you're looking forward to playing this game and you're really looking forward to the rain, I'm about to ruin it for you completely.
Oh, dear.
Because I did one of those things that once you notice it, you can't. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Right.
So the rain effect, or this is how it appears to be anyway, is that the rain, when you're racing, it falls towards you, and then it has this clever effect where when you turn the car, the rain will also sort of turn as the car
Right.
turns.
So you've got
I've
your
not
own,
explained this
you've
very
got
well
your own
at all.
kind of gravity field for rain.
No, you haven't got your gravity field, no. But as you'll swing out left, you'll see the rain, like longer trails of rain, and they'll go that. It's very hard to describe this.
So the rain,
Just
the
using
rain's
my
always
voice.
coming at you.
The rain is coming at you, but you can see the rain from a different angle when you're turning.
Right.
But when you turn around, the rain is still coming at you. So the rain is always coming at you.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
That's blown my mind.
I mean, the guys at home will probably be thinking, what the fuck is he on about?
No, say it again. I think it'll make sense. The rain.
We've understood it, I think.
Is always coming at you.
Wow.
You can't outrun the rain.
Wow.
You can't get away from the rain.
And now you can't enjoy it. Because
Every time I see it, I'm like, now I know it's just an effect.
There was, I think just after the first tutorial area, we had our first road trip, and it did seem like there was a little bit of the road trip that was designed to the rain to start. It lasted for about
I still don't know if it's totally dynamic or not, or if it's scripted areas that do it.
It didn't feel like it because of how quickly.
I mean, that first bit was scripted, 100%. But there are also races where they're scripted as well. I think.
But I tell you what, if you're racing with your in the first person view and you can see your bonnet and the rain landing on it, it looks very nice. Very nice.
Oh, it looks wonderful. It looks lovely.
But the rain is always coming at you.
The rain is always coming at you.
Well, that's ruined it, hasn't it?
But yeah, I don't know if I can say much more about this. I'd love to. I'd love to do it.
You said about as much as you can from a demo
of the first hour of the game.
The first hour of the game with all of those 1 championships that we did, 2 championships.
Yeah, I think you did pretty well despite some of the grief you got in.
It does have some great moments. Like fuck it, I'm talking about later on in the game. It does have some good stuff. It really does.
This isn't covered by an embargo, Dave.
I'm not going to specify what they are, but it does have some great events.
Yeah, cracking, great, awesome. Like what?
He can't say, I don't think. But there are some good ones.
All we know is that there are some good ones. We're going to have to take Dave's word on that one. Some of the later
events,
events,
when you play them, you'll know what
you'll be like,
about.
Dave, this was what Dave was talking about.
There's a bit.
Oh no.
I can't specify.
Careful now.
But I thought
talking in broad terms.
That bit's going to be a little bit dull.
And then
I did it. I was like, wow, would you look at that?
Wow.
That is impressive.
What a preview. Oh, I am sold.
This is a weird one though, because normally if people at home don't really know how it works, the way that coverage for a game would work is that we do a preview event, we're shown a specific slice of the game, and we can talk about that because we haven't seen anything else. I don't know what else we can talk about. I don't know what else to say. But with Forza, it's been an odd scenario where we've had access to the full game now. A while before launch, like this is unusual these days. You don't often get this much access this early. But then we're able to preview off the full game, but only the first hour, even though we would have played more. And it's a really odd scenario.
You're not entirely sure what you're allowed to say.
Yeah, it makes it awkward and
that's
difficult.
why it's easy because we did so much in that first hour that you can talk about.
And I'd say you pretty much covered the entire game
in that 1 hour.
First hour.
I mean, if you do want to see it, it isn't available on YouTube.
Yeah,
but
you could watch it on Twitch.
Plenty of others are.
You could watch it on our Twitch channel. Just saying, but apparently we're not allowed to put it on YouTube. That's video games.
These restrictions, man.
A load of piss.
I don't.
Frankly.
I could go on a rant, but I'm not gonna.
Okay, good. All right. So there's Forza Horizon 2.
You're happy with overall, Dave? You're quite happy with it, aren't you?
With the first hour?
Yeah.
I am happy, yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the first hour. All right. Do you know what I played this week?
No, it's not going to be as good as Forza.
I bet it's something. Let's guess. It's going to be on a PC.
Nope.
Okay. It's going to be.
It's a preview thing.
It's a preview thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on a PC.
Nope.
What?
I played an hour, not the first hour, although some of it was from the
It's
start
better
of the
not be
game.
embargoed too, Brad.
Is this
Lords of the
Borderlands?
Fallen.
Oh.
Okay, that's fine.
There we are. Which is...
Did I just break an embargo?
No, if Borderlands is a thing that exists. You're allowed to say
Yeah,
Borderlands.
there we are.
Right.
Good. Nice one, Dave.
Okay, you definitely didn't play that recently.
No.
Right.
So, yeah, we recorded about just under an hour's worth of gameplay with one of the devs for Lords of the Fallen, a game that Jim and I had both seen a bit of and came away from it a little bit confused. Because it's Souls-like, right?
Did they actually say that?
Kind of. And
Because
then,
the PR message a while back was, this is next-gen Dark Souls.
yeah, and then there is a next-gen Souls game coming, isn't there, really?
Well,
Bloodborne is-
it's not a Souls game, but yeah.
But-
I get you.
Let's be honest there. And yet, playing this was... And we actually, I think the first preview that Jim and I did, we kind of said, who is it for? Is it meant for people that couldn't quite get into the Souls game, maybe a bit more accessible? And it is, actually, after playing it for a decent amount of time. It makes such a big difference when you play with a character that you understand. I think that's a really hard thing to get your head around when you preview a game like that, when you jump in halfway through the
as
game.
in what, he's got an accent as if he's from Stoke?
No, as in, I got to pick that he was a cleric, so he had medium armor and a warhammer, and I could pick the magic that he started with. I understood how his stats worked and all the weapons that he was using. Whereas when you jump in, it's like if you jumped into someone else's Dark Souls save, it's really, really weird. I tried to do that with one that Brett was playing in Dark Souls 2, and it's like the most intimidating thing because there's just numbers everywhere and you don't understand how they work. But yeah, playing Lords of the Fallen from the beginning and being able to just...
Sorry, Brett, you don't understand how numbers work?
No, I don't understand how all of those numbers work and how they relate to the gameplay mechanics. But it's worked for me. Like I'm really surprised. I think the big difference is the pacing of it still. It's a faster game than the Souls series.
I think that's what may make me more interested in it than...
And I think it does make it more accessible, which was kind of the hope.
Is it a little more linear than the Souls games are?
Yes, I think so. It's definitely split into... Like I played 2 areas, and both times there was... I was aiming to get to the boss, but I had a couple of routes that I could take. One was
Is it all one connected world, though, still?
I don't think so, no.
Right.
It seems to be split into areas.
But you don't go... Because obviously there was areas in the Souls games as well.
And you had choice
you
where
would get
you'd
from
go.
one style and you know the way to get around and stuff.
I don't get the impression that's going to be the case here. I feel like they're almost like levels.
Right. So
Is it not more Dark Souls?
You work your way through the game rather than hopping around.
Yes, yeah. As far as I'm aware, I don't see why you'd go back.
Doesn't sound very Soulsy, though. I thought it was the whole point of Dark Souls.
I think
that you kind of approach things when you felt like you could and you weren't guided down a particular path, or...
Yeah, I think it's backtracked on that a little bit from my experience with it so far. But the comparisons are still there. The control scheme is really, really similar. The enemies that you fight between the boss, before you get to the boss fight, are still tricky, and they still have very particular ways that you want to go about them. They'll have certain characteristics you have to learn and understand. But generally, both areas that I saw, to get to the boss fight, you can do it very, very quickly. Even if you die when you go back to your save point, the distance you need to travel is so much more than it would be in Souls games, and that can be really off-putting when you first try a boss in Dark Souls or whatever. And generally, the first time you try it, you're learning how the boss works, so you're going to be very lucky to.
Do you die all the time?
Not much. The boss fights are still intimidating in the same way, but when you die, you start almost right next to where the boss fight is. You'll still have to kill a couple of minions, but it's nowhere near the chore that you may have felt in
so it's a bit Destiny-ish.
I don't know. I think you can compare it to a lot of games. The Souls games are still the clear comparison. It's just, it's meant to be played a lot faster, and like even in the combat, there's this emphasis on learning combos for your weapons and trying to do as much damage as quickly as possible. You still need to roll and avoid attacks, and if you do start taking hits, you'll die very quickly. But it just seems to be much. It keeps encouraging you to get back in and fight really, really quickly. Even when you die, how you in Dark Souls you drop your souls and you need to get back to them and pick them up.
Yep.
That happens in this, but when you respawn, the amount of souls or whatever the currency is in this starts to dwindle almost immediately. So you need to get back and pick it up really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm. This game confuses me because I don't know. Everyone keeps saying it's really good, and then I look at who's developing it, and I think, have they ever created a good game before?
Are you looking at City Interactive?
Well, this is the thing. Who has developed this game?
So it's Deck 13. And
are they the lead developer?
Yes, and so with assistance from City Interactive.
It's not the other way around?
No.
Right.
The guy...
I don't think there's been much clarity there.
Yeah. It's definitely not...
And what did they make before Deck 13?
I'm not entirely sure.
I'm going to look this up. Because City Interactive's pedigree is not particularly...
Well, it's like Sniper, Ghost Warrior. And
an Enemy Front.
Yeah, Enemy Front wasn't good at all. It was weird. I remember when I first went to see it, I was really confused by that. And in fact, the dev that I was talking to during that playthrough was... it was the executive producer, but he works for City Interactive.
Yeah, he's the guy that did The Witch 2, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What's it like in terms of production? Like, does it come across like it was made from a big studio? Or
Yes,
does it looks... Because often games that, like, they might look nice, but then they've got issues like the voice acting's a bit shoddy, the animation's a bit clunky, that kind of thing. Or does it feel like
I got the impression that it was... It seems like it's really well put together, to be honest. It looks gorgeous. I can see why people wanted to call it the next gen Souls game, because it does look like one that deserves to be on the Xbox One or the PS4.
Yeah, so it's developed by Deck 13 in collaboration with City
that's
Interactive.
right.
They have previously made
Anything you recognise?
Venetica.
Yeah,
I
remember
recognise that one. Jack Keane.
It wasn't stuff that I was familiar with. I think,
I think Venetica's probably the biggest one they've made.
I guess everyone has their big. Everyone, lots of studios start off doing like littler stuff, and then eventually, like Rocksteady weren't what they were before they made Batman. They'd made some decentish games, but they were not like now. They're like a massive studio.
Yeah.
So
Didn't Rockstar make? Was it Oni or Oni or
that was Bungie, wasn't it?
Bungie? Yeah, that was Bungie.
I think so.
It was published by
Rockstar, maybe, but it was all 2K or Take Two if they were. But Bungie made lots of stuff before they were like
developer Bungie. Yeah. PS2 was Rockstar Toronto.
Well, I'm hopeful that this could be the one that's out there. I think it will be called a Souls-like or whatever.
From what you've said,
it will constantly have those comparisons.
More appeal to me than a Souls game, just because even stuff like the pausing and the fact that you don't have to replay a lot of the game to get back to stuff where you previously died and stuff.
Yeah. Actually, the fact that you can pause the game is pretty significant, isn't it? I feel like this one's going to maybe help you along the way a little bit more. But yeah,
do we know when it's out? Is it October?
Yeah, it's towards the end of next month, isn't it? I believe
31st,
the very end of next month.
It's coming out in between two quite big release
But
periods.
it's coming out before Bloodborne, which is really important for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was announced before Bloodborne as well, which helped. If it didn't, it would be in a much trickier position. But I think people will want a game within that genre on the newer consoles.
I think it could do all right. Like, I think it may well.
It's an awkward time for it.
Yeah. If it gets reviewed well, if they're confident in it and the reviews can go out ahead of release, I think it might do all right.
Sorry, I completely missed. Were you saying because it's just before Bloodborne? It might. Yeah.
And it's to be honest, I was sure that it was going to. I think I even said it might be another Bound by Flame kind of issue, which was like an RPG that was coming on the newer consoles, which helped, but it wasn't a very good one.
This looks a lot better than
I think that
in terms of it's not the similar game, but in terms of quality, it looks
now that I've spent some like a decent amount of time with it, and importantly, a character that I understood and one that I was kind of thinking about the stats with. I think I'm going to like this game a lot. I think you will as well, Dave.
I'm more interested in it now that I saw you playing it than I was before. I think because I have always wanted to try and get into the Souls games. But I've just never been able to.
And it would be nice to start thinking about that as a genre rather than that series. It's having a Souls-like genre rather than having...
Souls-like?
Do you like Dark Souls? You could, do you like that genre? Is the natural progression for that.
What would you call that genre?
Souls-like. I reckon that is the inspirations.
What are the key attributes of those games, though? Because, say, I love games like Lords of Shadow and like Devil May Cry, that kind of thing, which on the look of it, are similar to Dark Souls, but then when you play them, they're not.
I think it's the one that you have a character that you can customize to quite an extent. Like even so, is
it just an action RPG?
No, because
action RPG.
I don't think it's even that. Like the fact that you start off, you pick rogue, cleric, or warrior. I think, but that really only determines the gear that you start off with. From that point onwards, you can create a build for that character that is drastically different to what your friend's playing. I think that is important.
So it is like an RPG element on top of a action adventure game.
Yeah, I think that the RPG stuff has to be pretty extensive as well to make you feel like you have that control over it. The challenge has to be there. I think not just from the boss fights, but from the stuff leading up to it. And yeah, I think. Some of the little things like the fact that when you die you drop your experience. I think those touches are important because it means you can't. It's not a game that you're supposed to grind in the same way, or a game that you're supposed to breeze through. It has to be somewhere in between. I
can't help but feel that it'll be a game that goes quite cheap about 2 weeks before Christmas. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
Because it'll be competing against all the big players. It might score well, but I don't think it will. And it might sell well because of those scores. But when you're competing with all those other ones, I'm not sure it will sell huge numbers. It just strikes me as a typical kind of game that could do that.
It clearly is going to... It's not going to go up against and do the same as the big games coming out at that time. But maybe if it can sell well enough, it's a good stepping stone to build a sequel or whatever.
And just expand that genre somehow. I think that's the most important thing that Lords of the Fallen can do. Which I know... It sounds a bit harsh to just describe it like that, but I think I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm not excited by it, but I am interested in it. And I don't. If we were talking about Dark Souls 3 here, I think I'd have probably switched off. I'd have been like, no, I've given it a chance, and I'm not really that bothered by it. But yeah, this one, it does seem a little bit more easy to play, essentially.
Or easy to get into, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I think the challenge will definitely still be there. I tried the second area. Admittedly, it was further into the game, and it wasn't the character that I'd been controlling. It was a new build. But that boss fight that we went up against seemed pretty challenging. It's definitely not one that I would have managed to get through in the first couple of times. So yeah, I hope that I hope it's accessible but not easy. I think that's important for it. But yeah, way more interested in it than I thought I would be at this stage, and that's really cool. All right, Dave, we've talked tricky action RPG. Let's talk something a little bit more up your street, my friend.
It's not up my street.
What? What are you talking about?
It's rubbish.
What game's this, Dave?
I've wasted so much money, Tom.
What
Come on, say it.
I've wasted money on absolute load of crap.
Say it. Come on, say it.
It's Disney Infinity 2.
Oh, David. Right.
What did you buy it on, Dave? PS4?
On PS4.
All right.
Now, look, maybe I'm being a bit
How much did
unfair.
you spend? Just how much?
Would you like to know exactly?
Yeah, and I want to know what you get for that money as well.
It was £52.
You just bought the main set.
Starter pack, £52 for Amazon it was. And I got a free pre-order character as well.
Who was that?
He's so shit, I can't remember his name.
Is it the big hairy 6 guy?
No.
No.
Is it Hawkeye? Is that his name?
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's not shit. Hawkeye's cool.
Is he cool?
Yeah.
I can give a toss,
He's
mate.
got
to
a
be
bow and
honest.
arrow, mate. He just goes around shooting and stuff.
So,
Also,
I
you
mean,
didn't get it for free. You got it because you pre-ordered from Amazon. Difference, man.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so £52.
Yeah.
You got Hawkeye.
Yeah. And I got...
Talk us through what happened when you plugged it all in. You
Plugged it all
unpacked
in.
it. You thought, this. You probably did like.
Would you like the whole story? I want the whole story.
Did you
Well,
like-
actually, what happened was I was a bit drunk because it was late Friday night. Bratters remembers this night very well.
Jesus.
And I got home. It's about 1:30 in the morning.
Perfect time.
Perfect time for a bit of Disney Infinity 2, I thought. Half cut.
This is
Oh,
the audience,
God.
really, isn't it?
This is honestly one of the most depressing lead-ins to a story
I
I've
made
ever heard.
I made the most noise I possibly... Because it's all in this big plastic box.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're all tightly packed in. And I was there rustling around.
Shoving a
Pulling them
kebab
all
into
out.
your hand into
Yep.
your mouth with one
Yep.
hand.
Shoved the disc in. And this piece of shit icon came from my PS4. I was like, oh, this is a good start. Can't even be bothered with the icon.
What? As in it was low res? Or?
Low res rubbish.
Oh, not good.
Put it in. I thought, I'll let it install. And loaded it up. Now, I only played it for about... I played it for about half an hour.
So which character?
How many
did you put
t-
on?
Well, this is the thing. And this is perhaps something worth discussing. Now, I know the original did this as well, but at the time, it never really crossed my mind. So, in this game, it opens with a sort of fly... Well, it's not a fly-through, but it's like a prologue to the game.
Right.
But it forces you to play as characters that haven't yet released.
Right.
And that's a big problem. Because, one, it's probably the biggest flaw that a Toys to Life game can make. Because if you're a kid playing that,
And you realise that
you'll then think,
Shit.
have I got this character? No, you haven't. Mummy, daddy has to buy it. And it also takes the magic away
you start
from
questioning, then why am I putting
Why-
these things on the
Exactly.
fucking thing if
And
they're in there already?
Exactly. And if you're an adult,
It's
it
a lie.
reinforces the fact that you're just paying for an unlock, essentially, by buying these figures.
Oh, that is brilliant. That is
And
on the nose.
And it's like, why do that? You don't need to do that. So, like, you play as Aladdin and Tinkerbell and all these characters that aren't actually out yet in this prologue. And you know why they do it? Because the kids will go, oh, that character's really cool. I want that character. But it feels like, nah, that's shit.
Characters in there already.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the lies.
I mean, that's the biggest thing that, you know, companies like Activision and Disney have got away with so well, is that they're the worst for on-disc DLC of everyone. Yet no one's complaining. Everyone's spending millions of pounds on it. But yeah, so that was... I don't know. I was like, it's quite a nice intro, but you didn't really need
But
to
now
do
I'm
that.
starting to question
The
it.
intro to the
Everything.
first game was all right as well.
Yeah, and
It had
it's
like
a similar thing.
That was probably my favourite part of the whole first game.
Yeah.
Like the rest of it was. a
It
bit
has
pants,
that Disney magic, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah.
And
Then you get into the toy box, and the toy's like, yeah. I mean, the toy box is okay, but I don't really care for it that much. It's just a creation thing. It's almost like a Disney Minecraft type thing. That's what they're going for, and I don't really care for it. So it's the play sets really that I was into. Or interested in, at least. And the playsets in the original were crap. The Pirates one was all right.
Monsters Inc. was
Monsters University was
terrible.
rubbish. Cars was rubbish. And you only get one with this one. You get the Marvel
when
superheroes.
I think
one.
Disney, I don't think Monsters University or Cars.
Yeah, but they were big at the time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Cars is huge.
That's another discussion. Like
Right.
of all the things you can do with Disney Infinity, what are you doing of?
They're doing. They do it to tie with what is popular at the time, don't they? So obviously, at the moment, superheroes are a big deal.
Yeah, but all of the classic characters, which I'd love to have a proper story or a campaign for, like Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, all that. I'd love to have a really good play set for that. And they've released those characters, or they are about to. And they're just characters you can use in the toy box. There's no story element. It's just like, here you go, run around.
As much as like something like Epic Mickey was, the first game I liked quite a lot. Actually, the second game was not as good, but at least it felt actual Disney. It felt like a Disney production in a way.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I understand why they've done the way they've done it with like their one art style for everything, but it takes away some of that Disney feel.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I loaded up the playset the next day. So you get the Marvel Superheroes playset. And I played about an hour and a half of that. And it's just dog.
So what toys have you got? What characters are you using?
Hawkeye, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Is it Black Cat? Is that her
Black
name?
Widow.
Black Widow. And Thor.
Mm-hmm. So you've got. So
I think that's it.
Is that so? The starter set is like some of the Avengers, then, right? Or
Starter set is 3
Can you
Avengers.
pick
Thor.
different ones, different
No,
starter sets?
no. They are releasing another version of it.
Guardians of the Galaxy available now as well? Or is
Yeah, that's available separately. Spider-Man's available separately, but I haven't tried those. Apparently Guardians is terrible, apparently.
What?
I don't see how it can be worse
All
than
you need
Marvel.
to do is get Groot in there and have a dancing animation, and you've suddenly you've justified it.
It's the lowest budget, big budget game I've ever played in my life, I think. You get the impression that it's going to be this amazing game. But it's all made by all these sort of outsourced places as well. And you're just...
Is this game on the Wii still? Or is
I don't think this one is. Oh, it might be.
Because...
Isn't this the game, or was it Skylanders? We bought it on Wii and you got a free upgrade to Wii U.
That might be the other
I
one.
think that might be Skylanders.
I don't know. But if it was on the Wii as well, you can understand a little bit why it's so ropey.
I took some screenshots of it.
Gen.
Yeah, so it looks quite grey.
It has borders as well. Like, technically, what are you doing?
But it's called Disney Infinity. There should be no border. Why is it? What's the justification for Disney Infinity 2? Is it so it can be on the new consoles?
What's the justification?
Like,
Oh, right.
why
Instead of just adding on packs.
Yeah, because surely Infinity, you'd imagine you buy it and it will last for years and you keep adding
Well,
to
that
it.
is- yeah.
They've added new stuff to the toy box. You can now develop, like,
Does it feel like a new game?
interiors. No, it doesn't feel like a new game at all. But I don't know if they ever will release. I mean, they told me last year that we're going for annual releases, but they also suggested that they'd be able to release add-ons as downloadables with next-gen consoles.
Jeez.
So I don't know what the plan is now. Whether they
It's
will,
a bit depressing, isn't it?
Presumably, the next one will be
will it just be playsets they roll out
next
now?
year's Star Wars, wouldn't it?
Well, that's the thing. I imagine that they're going to keep that. And that's what will justify a big new release. But if they carry on the way they're going, it's just a load of. Metro's review called it a disgrace and gave it 6 out of 10. I was like, what?
It does feel a lot like... The problem is that
game review scores.
it's a kids' game, really, but it's one of those kids' games that we had like on the PS2 era, or like were just so bad. Like, I remember reviewing loads of them. They were like awful,
that's the thing.
terrible games.
Just
that
because
they
it's a kids' game doesn't mean it has to be shit.
No, and kids don't enjoy bad games really. Like they might tolerate them a bit more than we do because they'll just keep ploughing through it. But they're still bad games.
I just feel it feels so heartless. It feels.
It does.
so
It really
heartless.
does. It has no soul to
And
it.
the people who, some of the, is it Avalanche that are involved somehow? They're doing the core.
They're
bit,
like the
I
lead
guess.
developer, yeah.
And they made some nice Disney games before this. Like Toy Story 3 was a really nice game. Like, looked nice. It was good kind of licensed game. It didn't feel like, this feels very much, let's just get something done.
Yeah.
And that was like a proper well-made game for kids and adults that like Disney stuff.
Mm.
And or like something like Kingdom Hearts, which is obviously a Disney crossover type thing. It makes use of Disney far better than this game does, and this is a proper official Disney.
Yeah,
their big
in the
thing.
name.
This is like their big thing for gaming, isn't it? Like Disney Infinity is meant to be everything.
Even like, I mean, technically it's appalling. From a design standpoint, it's poor. Like all the missions so far that I've done in Marvel have either been go here and beat these guys up, or go here and pick this up and come back to me. And that's what it was like in the original as well. But there's even parts to it where in the toy box bit at the beginning, it kind of provides you with a tutorial briefly. And part of it is combining your ability to jump on stuff, and it's teaching you how to navigate the world and learn the mechanics of moving around the world. But the characters, a couple of them, Iron Man and Thor, have this hover ability. So it says, right, go and collect these items which are all over the world, and you have to sort of jump on things and line up platforms, and it's kind of almost like a platform game at that point. But because you can just use Thor or Iron Man to just float around the world and pick these things up, you can bypass that whole section.
Why are you saying float instead of fly?
He can fly, but he can also like hover.
Oh, right, you can just hover. Oh, so you can... All right, cool.
But you could... Well, it's like two modes. If you're flying, you're going really fast, and it's like a plane almost. If you're hovering, it's like a helicopter, essentially. And it's like, well, I did that in about 30 seconds, because I don't need to go and do any of that other shite. And it's just little things like that where you feel like they haven't thought about this properly. There's been no effort put into the actual design of it. I don't know, it's one of the worst things I've played in a long time.
Yeah, man. And I don't really like that whole concept anyway, but I get that it's not really...
I love the toys to life stuff.
I think as a concept, it sounded all right originally. I never liked the look of it. I always thought that they'd been better off with each like series having its own style.
Yeah, I agree.
That is part of what those things are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like the fact that everything all looks like it's from the same world, because...
I understand why they did it. The toys, you know...
No, I get I get it.
And when they're all in the toy box and all that.
But I just don't really like that it's a game that is going to...
Because I think kids...
constantly encourage you to pay more.
You'd accept that things look different and don't gel with each other, because that is the way things are in real life. When you have kids play with toys, they put everything together, and it's like...
That's the fun.
Yeah, like Toy Story is a load of toys from different things, all in the same world together.
It's this stubbornness, not to allow other characters from other... In the Marvel playset, it's really weird. I haven't played enough really to know how it works, and I haven't got these other characters, but you can find these tokens, which are collectibles in the world, that will then allow you to play as that character in that world. So there's little tokens for Rocket... Is it Rocket Raccoon?
Yeah.
And you have to find 10 of them, and then, if you've got the toy, he can play in that world. It's like, what?
Oh, God.
Why not just, if you're going to do that, why not just let it from the beginning and make something a little bit more impressive?
Because then it's like, oh, well, I've unlocked this now. Oh, man, I really should go and get the toy.
I don't know if it is, but...
I don't know. I think the whole structure of that game is that.
And it's like Nick Fury. Well, Nick Fury is in the Marvel superheroes playset. You can't play as him. You can only play as him in the Spider-Man playset, which you have to buy separately. It's like...
What?
What?
Wow, Matt. So how much?
So there's characters from within certain universes that are in that game, but you can't play as them.
Does it do that thing? Because the first game had like adverts, didn't it? Inside, you could get to certain bits, and it would show you like a new character.
Yeah, I haven't seen any yet. But
Skylanders does that as well, right? It feels shit.
No, well, yeah, but that's what they're designed to do, make money.
So why the fuck do you buy them?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know why I bought this one. I really don't, because we were having this conversation a while about it, like saying visually it looks terrible. I don't know, maybe I was just hoping for something that it was never going to be. The dream, innit? The dream.
The Disney dream.
Be interesting to see do we know how well it's done? It's out, isn't it?
Well, it's shot to number 2.
Skylanders. Have they ever made that clear?
It doesn't do
I doubt
as
it's
good as
close to
Skylanders.
But
it does do well, though.
Yeah. It should do well. It's got enough licensing power behind it. Like, it should do well.
They just need to make a good game out of it.
I just think they're wasting their chance to do something much better, and would in turn sell a lot better as well.
I mean, if it carries on like this... I mean, I was speaking to Cole. Cole's our tech dude. And he's bought it for his kids, because his kids love the toy box stuff. And I guess maybe the kids do love it, though. That's why Minecraft is so popular.
Yeah, but Minecraft...
Partly.
Minecraft... no, I think that's really unfair. Minecraft allows you to do so much. Minecraft is a toy box.
No, but it's the creation part,
There is
isn't it?
the creation of this.
Kids.
You can do quite a lot in it, but I still think the way that you get... I mean, Minecraft is the polar opposite in terms of what it gives you for the money. Like, you give it...
You buy Minecraft and you get the world, Tom.
Yeah, but I mean, it does have, like, the toy box stuff, there is a lot there, but whether or not it's good for anyone other than kids.
I mean, I can remember seeing some demos of the original Disney Infinity, and it looked like it was like placing buildings and objects rather than...
Yeah, you just make your own... I don't know what you want to call them, really, but courses, essentially. They're worlds that...
Yeah, you know what? Buy Minecraft instead. Minecraft is so superior to that shit. so superior, and it lets kids and
Don't get
adults
Donald Duck though, do you?
just. You can make Donald Duck. Or you could make a custom skin and have Donald Duck run around in Minecraft building a castle. It's way better.
So yeah, very disappointed. I'll go back to it.
You'll
but
still buy next year's one.
I won't.
Disney.
You know what? I won't unless it's very different.
They'll say something and it'll be like,
they'll say just the right thing.
Or you'll be hyped for something.
To be honest, I don't know why I bought this one because I don't really give a shit about Marvel, and that's what it is. It was only late on that I realised, oh god, there's only one playset in here. I just, for some reason, I assumed that it was going to be like multiple campaigns like in the original, but it totally isn't. So.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Dave. I feel bad.
That's all right. That's, maybe I should have.
Maybe you've learnt your lesson.
Those reviewers should have done a better job.
Yeah. Well, you read the Metro review. It's a disgrace. 6 out of 10. What else do you need?
I was talking about our review.
Oh right. Shit.
Which we haven't got.
Oh fuck. Well, oh man. Well, this was our review. Don't buy it. It's really shit.
Yeah, but this is based on like 2 hours play.
Yeah, well, by the sounds of it, that's enough. The game's not going to blow you away after that, surely.
I doubt it.
It's the whole system isn't going to change. The system's designed to make you buy as much shit as you can and then regret it. Disney Infinity, good. All right, shall we move on to some questions?
What about me?
Oh crap!
What
actually,
about me? I've been playing.
Sorry.
I'm not allowed to talk about games I play.
And now over to Tom
we
Ori
talked about what you played for about 4 hours.
for Tom Ori's occasional Diablo 3 updates.
It's a Tom Ori minute.
Occasional.
Well, you didn't do it last week, I don't
That's
think,
because I
did
wasn't
you?
on it, was I?
Exactly.
You still playing Diablo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for this update.
good.
So we've got 2 weeks worth here, have we?
Well, I was on holiday for a week, so really it's only a week.
All right. What did you not play it over your holiday? Was that
No,
not what
'cause
the holiday
I was
was
away.
for?
I was away.
Oh man,
I don't just sit at home playing games on holiday, Brad. It's
And
like
that's
you.
your problem, Tom Ori. Okay, so you've had about a week,
Yeah. Which in real terms
Since
is
the last
probably
chat.
about
40 minutes.
maybe like 3 hours.
Okay, cool.
4 hours maybe. I don't know.
All right.
I don't think I like Diablo 3 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Playing on PS4, but I don't really know anything about it or what I'm doing.
All right.
I'm level 22.
Well, you must have done something,
I'm
right?
level 22. I'm in Act 2 now.
How many demons have you killed?
I don't know. Is there a demon a special thing?
I don't know. Well, how many?
I killed loads of
You
things.
killed all the things.
and I kill things all the time.
Good.
And
So you're
I've
doing
got a
good
load
things.
of stuff, loads of
And you
gear.
get gold and shiny items.
There's a lot of stuff in it I don't get at all. Like, I am level 22. I don't know what character class I am.
How have you not figured that out? That should be
I don't know
really
what character
obvious
class
when you
I am.
start
I picked something initially. It's the guy, probably the one that I thought was going to be most like a warrior.
No,
I
we
don't
talked about
know.
this. It's the Templar, the one with the
It
shiny
might
abilities.
be a Templar. It might be a Templar.
Yeah, yeah.
He does lots of stuff with shields.
Yeah, he's the new one for Reaper of Souls, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm playing as a Templar, level 22, just got to Act 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved on from the main first area of Act 2 now.
Yeah.
I've no idea what, like, I didn't have a clue this was like, this character was only in Reaper of Souls.
Yeah,
I don't know.
well, it's just the class. I mean, it's the
I
same
don't know
story.
I don't know what has been added in there. I just know that it's all in one package that I'm playing through.
Yeah.
I collect loads of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When it has numbers that are better than other numbers,
You
I
replace
change it.
Yep.
I like it when I get something that looks really nice and gold.
So
and
you do understand
legendary, or whatever it's called. Is it legendary?
I imagine that's...
And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
those
legendary is
things
less.
seem better than what the other things are, even though their stats look like they're lower.
Right.
I don't really understand how that works. Like, the number on the equipment screen is lower, but then you look at it and it is better than the higher numbered stuff.
Yeah, that's what
That
the
doesn't make
equipment
sense.
management's all about.
That doesn't make sense, but still, I don't like it when I have so much stuff that I have to drop things.
Right. You're not selling or you're drunk
I am,
when you go back
but
to
You
town.
are over encumbered.
I am, but
Classic
I
Fallout
find
issue.
it that I'm out in like the world doing stuff
Mhm.
or a dungeon, or whatever, and I've got all my equipment slots are full, and I have to drop stuff to see what other stuff's been dropped.
You know, one of the things I think Torchlight got so right with that is that you have a little companion, often like a dog or like some kind of creature, which you can just give all your shit to and
Yeah.
say, right, boy, go back to town and sell this for a good price.
Yeah,
Barter,
I
well,
would do that.
young dog.
All right.
All right, Stephen Burns.
What's going on?
What
going
the
on? You can't
hell?
just storm in.
You just interrupted Tom Murray's occasional
I
Diablo
was
3
talking about
updates.
Diablo 3. You know,
No one wants to hear that.
Everyone
They wanna
does.
Hear me.
What they want to
God.
hear from you?
Right.
Steve,
Get in by a mic. Get in by a
Come
mic.
here.
where have you
Yeah.
been?
Are we sharing?
What's going on?
Well, Burns has just
Popped
strolled
in
in.
to say hello.
Why aren't you on the podcast?
ruining
Yeah, why
from
not?
the start, Burns?
Because, midweek, very busy times.
It's all right. You can say you've been playing Forza.
I have been playing Forza.
We talked about it already for
Shit,
about
but only the first hour.
Only the first hour, and then many hours following. it.
No, the embargo.
Well, they know I'm playing it.
No, but
I
you're not. The
presume
rest of the world isn't supposed to know.
What, that I'm playing a game that
Yeah.
I'm going to review?
Absolutely. That's
Oh, yeah,
that's when the
actually not
rules.
how it's done.
Exactly. Fuck.
Corruption.
Well,
Is it good? Just
We've
say
already
yes or
I'm
no.
enjoying it. I'm
Okay.
enjoying it.
Right, there we are. That's good.
People are
Where's
going
our
to be
copy of Alien?
people are going to be very angry
Whoa.
that the Diablo discussion
We'll
has
come
been
back to it.
derailed with Burns.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, look. Hello all. I'll be back next week, maybe.
Oh,
I've said
God.
that for weeks
no,
now. But,
that's a
you know,
promise. Steve
I'm
Burns'
reviewing
promise.
stuff.
Are you dead?
Yeah, you're imagining this. You are collectively imagining me talking to you. I am your Tyler Durden.
Imagine if it was
a really
Stephen
low
Burns that you had
version.
to imagine.
All right, bye.
All right, see you
Get
later,
back to
man.
it, Tom.
No, I can't be bothered now.
It's Diablo, isn't it?
Stephen Burns rang me last night at 1:45.
He does that sometimes.
1:45.
Yeah.
I was tucked up watching Bad Boys in bed, and
Whoa! Say that again. You were tucked up watching Bad Boys in
Yeah.
bed.
yeah, it's a good film.
Were you alone?
What?
Were you alone?
Well, yeah, in my room, yeah.
Quite sad.
Anyway, he rang me up to tell me that he'd seen a celebrity in the underground, and that he'd smiled at him.
He told me. Who was it? He
Who?
told me, didn't he? I've forgotten.
Someone from League of Gentlemen or something. I don't know. He
Not
just
the FIFA producer.
no
Nick Shannon.
no.
He's not in League of
Just not
Gentlemen.
League of Gentlemen.
Oh.
Dave. But yeah, 1:45. Absolutely outrageous. Sorry, Tom. I feel like we're interrupted.
I don't know. I don't know what I was saying anymore, Bratters.
Notice how no one has said they're playing Destiny this week.
You have been playing it, haven't you, a bit?
No.
Have you been to
Oh,
the-
maybe for a little bit.
Have you been to the
in
loot cave? That's all
No.
people seem to care about that game at the moment.
I've just got to that point, level 20,
Mm-hmm.
where it just seems impossible to progress.
I feel like if I play Destiny now, it'd be the worst time to play it because of
I think you'd be all right.
Because I've been playing Diablo, and that I feel like it's perfect for little sessions because I play it for a bit. I get a ton of stuff. I do some XP.
You do
I
some
feel
XP.
like I feel like I'm making progress. Whereas if I play Destiny, I feel like it's going to be more of a slog, and it won't feel like I'm getting enough out of it.
No. It's a slog when you get to level 20, but before that, you'll be all right.
I just
So it's
saw
one of those online games where it doesn't really matter how low level you are because you can play the whole thing by yourself.
I just saw a gif of people shooting into that loot cave or whatever it is, or just like loads of people clamoring to get in. And I just
Yeah.
thought, oh man, is that what this game is?
Yeah.
Are we just creatures designed to pick up loot?
That,
We're just numbers on a spreadsheet.
you're right, I did go back to it briefly at the weekend because I wanted to try that Crucible playlist.
Oh, yeah?
Which is one of their special events they had. I can't remember what they called it, but they described it as massive, huge-scale war, vehicular warfare.
Nice.
And I got into it, and it's just that moon map again,
Yeah.
and I couldn't notice any difference whatsoever.
Whoa.
It was not. There's no massive
Sounds-
scale. It was just people shooting each other again. There might have been one more bloody little motorbike thing, floaty bike.
I guess
But I
that's
didn't
quite a
notice any-
difference for them in this because Halo games, the vehicles were a big part of it, aren't
Yeah.
they? And this, you've only got those,
Yeah, but they're in that map anyway.
but you've only got those moonbike things in this, haven't you, Destiny?
There's like a tank thing as well, I think.
Is there?
but-
But it's not the same. Like
It's not the same as Halo,
Halo
it's not.
had like the ghosts and the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
other stuff and everything else.
Banshees the Wraiths.
Banshees, right? All
But
that
it just
stuff.
felt like a really poor attempt at making a special event out of nothing. It just didn't feel special at all.
Yeah,
I guess is it special
and it-
because of the reward rather than the actual event itself?
This is another point. I don't mean to show off, but I dick at that game. And I mean that in the sense
Oh
that
god,
you play against me, I will destroy you.
You belong on Xbox Live. You
I am the
13-year-old.
Ricardo of the
What did
Destiny
How do you
world.
describe yourself? You were a dick at that game.
No, that was the bad thing to
verb.
say.
He dicks at that game.
I dick on you.
This is the problem with online gaming,
It's the-
Dave.
you
I didn't
are
know
the
you were
problem.
part of it.
I know.
but
I
you
picked
are.
this up.
He
I
is,
picked this
isn't
up.
he? He pre-orders everything. He runs around chasing after achievements, and he uses words like "dick" to describe how good he is at shooting other people.
Saying I'm dick at that means I'm rubbish. I didn't mean to say
That's
that.
what I thought you meant.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm really good.
You just
Yeah.
say the word good.
Right.
Everyone understands that.
Right.
And it makes us feel less.
For some reason, I don't know
Weird.
why it is, but I keep destroying everyone. It's amazing. I never get any
So
loot.
big-headed.
I
This
am.
is like
This
something
is
you'd say,
ridiculous.
brothers.
But I never get anything for it. Like some guy who's like the bottom of the leaderboard or whatever, near the bottom,
Yeah.
got his bloody exotic
But if you're-
helmet.
if
I'm
you're-
like, what has he done
If
to
you're already
deserve
beating
that?
everyone, then surely the people that are struggling deserve the equipment.
But
They'll give them a chance
But
later on.
The problem is that it's so random, or it feels so random at least. Maybe I'm missing something still. That why should I bother?
No,
I put hours into it. I don't get anything out of it.
Well,
When there's other people here doing piss all.
that's your problem. That's your problem. You're playing for the rewards, not the game.
No, but I want to feel like I'm achieving something. In a game like that is a game, let's face it, it's purely based around levelling up and looking really cool. It's a vanity game that is just, I don't know, like it's so random. But what's the point?
You just play Diablo, Dave.
Yeah, Diablo will give you
rewards,
stuff. Diablo
you
will
get
tell
so
you really
many
good all
rewards.
the time.
Going back to Diablo, because I felt I was derailed.
Yeah.
There's a screen in the menu that I have no clue what it does. It's a screen full of zeros at the moment. It's like there's 4 different categories, and everything is. I've got to spend points.
Yeah.
And they're all zeros. I've got no points. I've got no idea what the whole screen is for.
I'm not sure.
It's like, so I think one of them might say Paragon. That sounds like Mass Effect to me. But
Maybe this is something to unlock at a high level?
is it? I have no idea, but it's there. I can see it on my inventory, next to the inventory, and it's like, am I ever going to do anything on that screen? I have no idea.
Well, maybe for next week's,
I'm sure
next week's update.
People listening to this go, "Oh, he's such an idiot."
Mm-hmm.
They say that about me all the
I saw
time.
a thread on Gaff about how console players play Diablo. I imagine I am exactly the stereotype, probably worse, because I imagine PC people are doing all this high level stuff. I'm just there holding buttons.
But who's having the most fun, Tom?
I don't know.
The PC players because they understand the systems.
Maybe.
But you're having a bit of fun
I'm
as
having
well,
quite a lot
which
of
is
fun
good.
playing it with my list stuff I get.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'd like to address something quick.
Oh dear.
Because I've been receiving some abuse and false allegations following my opinion on Sunset Overdrive.
Right. Yeah. I leapt to your defence in those YouTube
Just
comments.
because it's an Xbox One exclusive doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be shit.
Yeah.
And
You paid to have that.
Yeah,
It's like that statement.
Why did
just
you need to
made,
say that?
Has this been paid for?
I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of the bollocks. Just grow up.
Why have you...
I'm allowed to
You're-
say a
Dave,
game is
a minute
good.
ago-
the people that you're
You-
talking to right now aren't the people that
And
left
Dave,
those comments.
They might
so
be.
No, they're not.
Dave, just clear. You just said to everyone to grow up. A moment ago, you described how you played a game as dicking on people.
And you just generalised our audience because of a minority in the comments on a preview.
No,
for
I'm saying to that minority, please, a stronger understanding of the world.
Dave, all you're doing is convincing people more that you've been paid
Yeah,
off. to
I
say
think
these
you've been
things.
paid off now, and I
This was such an
Oh, God.
an out of the blue statement.
Sunset Overdrive is a good game. And
Says
it's a
who?
game...
from what
Says
you've
who?
seen so far.
And
Who
it's a
says that?
game-
You or Microsoft?
In that video in which I was accused of this thing, I said at the beginning, I thought it was going to be a load of guff.
That's what you
Yeah,
would say
that's-
if you were
that's
paid
how you.
off.
Yeah, you.
'Cause
Oh,
it makes it seem authentic.
Throw them off the
doesn't it?
scent,
Whatever.
You can't dig yourself out of this, Dave. I'm sorry.
man.
Whatever.
You're right. I don't feel like you feel any better. Okay, good.
Because you're being a prick now. You're making it sound even
I
worse.
know, but you didn't need to make that statement.
You ignore it.
This podcast. So just to be clear, you talked about Forza,
Mhm.
which is a Microsoft published game.
and how much you liked
How
it.
you like that? Now you've made a public statement about how you're not taking money from Microsoft, while also talking about how much you like Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
But it's just... What? You can't win. Because
Am I
one
wrong?
minute...
Am I wrong in thinking you've also done a video recently about Halo?
Yep. That's
Yeah, in which I said I thought Halo 2 looked
3
shit.
Xbox One exclusives that you've been covering recently, Dave.
Look. It's not my... You decided to send me to a showcase event.
Someone can put this together and see the truth.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Because one week, everyone goes, oh, that Dave's always shitting on Xbox One. The next week, that Dave's been paid off to promote Xbox One.
Everybody is saying that.
Not everyone. You know what I mean? Like, you get that comment. Oh, Dave. Like a year ago, I was an Xbox journalist.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was a pro PS4 fanboy. Then I'm shitting on Xbox One for no reason. Next week, he likes an Xbox One game. What a prick. It's just like, get your argument right.
Right.
Stop being a dick.
Okay. Good. I don't know who that was directed at. But
Not you, and
Yeah.
probably not you listening at home.
So why are we talking about it?
Because it's just so tiresome.
Don't read the YouTube comments on videos for any kind of... If it's a platform exclusive preview, you've probably done something wrong, Dave. That's just a rule in general.
But it's not though, is it? Because when you say Drive Club's good, everyone's like, oh, he's fucking right. Doesn't it look good? No accusations there.
Well, okay. Sunset, to be fair, didn't do the best job of convincing us it was going to be good before the preview went to. Because last time VideoGamer played it was like a co-op horde mode that...
No, I acknowledge
didn't show
that. And
up
if you go
until-
back a few podcasts, you probably get a soundbite from me going, Sunset Overdrive, load of shit. Now that I've spent some reasonable time with it, actually,
mind.
I've
Good.
enjoyed it.
Cool. Well, that's great. That's really good.
Are you okay now, Dave?
You've got that off your chest?
Ah,
All right, let's move on to some questions from the listeners. With the first one...
I'm sorry, have I upset people?
No.
No, it's fine.
If you're upset at home, if you've thought, oh, shut up, I'm sorry. I just needed to feel
If
like...
you're upset, just leave an offensive, abusive comment.
Question
Do
here.
you remember
he
when
probably
I was
would
the
do
I was the
anyway.
reason Rise of the Tomb Raider was an Xbox One exclusive? That guy was amazing. God damn. Spat on his PS4 copy of Tomb Raider Definitive Edition and sent me an abusive message.
What?
Because he thought I was the one that had made Rise of the Tomb Raider an Xbox One exclusive.
Right. How does that
People are
work?
weird. People are weird.
Adablack39 asks, why does that fucking Xbox shill, David Scammell, keep going on about Sunset Overdrive? Has he been paid off?
Is this a legit question?
No, I made that up. Anyone excited about Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition?
Well,
There we are.
funny you mentioned that, isn't it?
It is. We were actually we're taking a look at that after this very podcast.
Again,
right?
it's a situation I'm not sure whether we can discuss it or not.
All right.
But Sleeping Dogs was a decent game.
I
Imagine this
wasn't-
would be a decent...
I didn't like Sleeping
Game.
Dogs that much. I think I'm definitely in the minority there. But I
I
found
thought it was a little overrated.
I thought the city
Oh,
was great.
Well, no, I don't know if it was overrated because it kind of got the scores that you'd expect at the time.
Yeah.
People always look back on it like, oh, Sleeping Dogs was amazing.
I like it. I liked it as like the combat was decent,
Yeah.
and it was an open world game that I actually bothered to finish properly. But I'm not bothered about going back to it. Like
Yeah.
I enjoyed it at the time.
Yeah, I think open world was the open world city was really good. It looked good then. But driving around that city was fun. The combat was better than its biggest rival. And the thing that I didn't like about it, I think I went into that game really hoping for, because the story is kind of about a cop that has to pick his allegiance between. He goes
It's
undercover.
basically undercover cop and what is too far and
Yeah.
crossing the line, all that kind of
But
stuff.
whilst he's talking about that, and that's all he talks about for the first part of the game, you're already killing people already. And I remember there's the bit where you to kind of show that you are a proper gangster. You have to kill someone for the triads or whatever the case may be. But I felt before that point I'd already killed people anyway. I'd already been finding guns throughout the street and doing side missions where I was mowing people down, and it just kind of, I don't know, I didn't care for that story for that reason. And I never really got over that.
My professional opinion on this matter
Yep.
is that maybe you'll find out whether we are excited for it or not at another time this week.
Probably Thursday.
This week's quite busy, actually.
Don't know if we can say that.
What? Say what? I was guessing.
Wait, whoa.
There's only a couple
What we
of days
can
left.
say, it'll be at Eurogamer. It'll be at Eurogamer Expo. So maybe you'll get our opinion once that has been shown.
When's Eurogamer Expo start?
Well,
Thursday, isn't it? Right? Is that true?
I don't know when the doors open.
Okay.
Is it the morning or is it the afternoon of Thursday? I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Russell Taziker asks, what about that Dota patch, eh? For
What?
have
What's
you
he
seen
on about?
big Dota patch last night? It's changed the complete structure of the game. Roshan has been moved slightly.
What?
And there's I think there's 2 new types of runes or something. One of them gives XP and gold at the start of the game.
Can I go now?
Absolutely
Just move
crazy.
on.
I don't
Get your
know
own podcast
how I'm going to
talks
play
about this because no one
after
gives
this.
a shit price.
You don't know.
Nice. You've tried that joke so many times. Didn't deserve even.
When you say
any
tried,
recognition.
you mean you successfully told that joke
Pulled off
on numerous
successfully,
occasions
yeah.
and made everyone chuckle.
Oscar asks who's getting on that sweet EGX honey.
Well, I think it's you.
Yeah, I'm going to EGX on Saturday and
Is
Sunday.
Jim going as well? Or not?
He's going on just the Saturday, I believe.
Right.
Should be cool. All right, shall I move on to some voicemails because
Yeah.
we've been
Don't play the naughty
on this
one.
for a while. Well, yeah,
We did get sent a very naughty one.
We've got we got sent another cabbie voicemail.
Yeah.
Which is great, right? They're often the highlights
Right.
of our voicemail
Why?
sections.
What happened?
Whoa, wow.
Ding ding.
We just can't play it, Tom.
Right.
He said something that I'm not comfortable playing on the
I see.
podcast.
So if you are this cabbie man,
maybe tone
down whatever you've done back to what it was before.
All right, so this one we'll just kick off with from Mr. Hubo on the forums, I believe.
Right.
Hi, Tim here, also known as Mr. Hubo. If you remember, you did a charity podcast about 2 years ago, where if you donated, you got sent a Halo t-shirt. I know it's been 2 years, but I don't want to rush you. I haven't received mine yet. I've got nothing else to wear on a big night out in Crawley, so if you could get back to me, that'd be great. Keep up the good work, lads. Ta-ta.
Hubo, Hubo.
So I remember when I started this job, I've seen those t-shirts.
What he needs to do is he needs to find the contact details of Martin Gaston and get in contact with him.
I've seen the t-shirt.
He's just uncontactable now.
This was entirely Martin Gaston's doing. He arranged it all. Then he left and didn't bother to sort anything out.
I saw that they were behind my desk at one point.
Yeah.
And now I don't know where they've gone.
I don't know where they are either.
Probably gone to a charity shop.
So what how many are we,
I don't
were we
know.
supposed to have sent out?
Martin did a live stream, charity live stream, which is
Ledge.
good. It was good. That was where Ledge came from.
It's golden era of VideoGamer.
It was good. That was like pre-you.
Mhm.
Everything was better then.
Everything was happy and wonderful.
But
Nellis was there.
I like Nellis.
Lovely
It
Nellis.
was a good time.
Yeah.
And so that's why we don't talk about
We
it
won
now.
awards and
'Cause
everything.
It's sad
gonna
thinking
fucking
about
punch
it
you in the
now. If we sent off all those t-shirts, it'd be sad because we'd be losing
It's
what
your
we
only
have left
attachment to
of that era.
to that era. Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
I mean, if you really want one, you have to get it through Martin Gaston.
All right. Okay.
So, and deliver it.
I'm just really confused as to where they've gone.
But
they
we
were
can't
here at one
provide
point.
you with any of his contact information.
That would be a breach of data laws.
Right. Good. Okay. A few weeks ago now, you remember someone called up wanting some kind of sponsorship deal.
the
for
Pokemon man.
tournament that he was in.
Oh, yeah.
We were a little bit dismissive, I
We
feel.
asked him for more info and he gave it to us, didn't he?
Well, yeah, but that hasn't been played on the podcast yet.
As I've heard it, haven't I?
Is it? No, I played it in the office.
Really?
Yeah,
Right.
for you to hear. So, do you want to hear his deets?
Yeah.
His portfolio?
Oh, hello. Me again. I found out about trying to get a t-shirt for the Pokemon tournaments. The Pokemon I use for battling are Meda, Marwile, Dewdra, Sandalore, Malamar, Metagross, and a Vaporeon. I have entered the Nationals and done pretty okay. Nowhere near the top 8, but not at the bottom either. I have got some videos up on YouTube. My battle name is Bloodmillet. Okay, bye.
Right, so I've tried to do some digging into that and find... Would you say that was Blood Malek?
Sounded like it, yeah.
Because I've tried to find Blood Malek on the internet and haven't had much joy so far. Few things from that, right?
Yeah.
First of all, I really, really like that he just says he's pretty good. He doesn't try and...
Yeah, he's not top 8.
Yeah,
But he's not
pretty
bottom
good.
either. He's not
I
bottom.
love that description. Also, my Pokemon knowledge isn't good enough to confirm whether or not those are legit.
They could be anything.
They sound like Pokemon.
You could say anything, couldn't you? Pokemon can be anything these days.
Is this a legitimate request?
Don't know.
Is someone pulling our leg?
I feel like, that's enough proof to back him up, really. Can we... Maybe we should send him out one of those Halo t-shirts. Just to
Not really-
rub the salt in the wound of
Not
Mr.
really a
Hubo.
video gamer branded T-shirt in any way.
But it is a t-shirt.
yeah.
We need to send something.
They are t-shirts that will forever be,
And they've got a link to
linked to
the
video
glory
gamer.
days of VideoGamer. So
Yeah.
maybe that's how we'll do it. I don't know. He sounds like, to be honest, I think he's on board. I reckon he's legit. He sounds like he knows Pokemon pretty
And
well.
unlike the taxi man, doesn't say things we can't broadcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I like the Taxi Man a lot. I think he's
He was
a
my
fine
favourite
addition.
caller.
Can you not play it, but not that bit?
It's just no, it's not cool. Right. It's not cool. Yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up there then, because we have got some of the voicemails, but some of them were a bit strange.
We haven't done a gallery competition for
Yes,
a long
I
time.
know. I have got the entries all put together.
You can't be asked, can you?
It's not that. It's just I've been really, really busy, Dave.
He says busy.
Loads of stuff to
He
do.
says he's busy. He didn't get into work until about 9:45 this morning.
Yes, that's true. But I will
You
no
could have
doubt. I will
done
no
something
doubt
in those 45 minutes.
not leave this office until about 8.
Could have recorded this podcast in those 45 minutes.
That's not true. We've been going for quite a while.
It's because we're so
Yeah, but-
entertaining.
When this comes out, it'll be 45 minutes long.
Yeah, that's quite true. The shit I'm going to have to edit out. Oh,
There's
God,
quite
and
a bit.
it's-
I've got to make you.
it's all-
I've got to make you a list this week.
It's all over the place as well. Jim didn't have these problems when you recorded with Jim and Brett. I know that you didn't have to edit much out. What is it about me, Dave, that you feel you can just come in?
He's just a good host that can
and run
continue
your
the
mouth.
conversation. Have a serious conversation about video games
Yeah.
and industry analysis and excellent remarks.
He's got an insight that you don't have.
Exactly.
Why does that mean that you start saying
Because
inappropriate
we
things?
worry that we've got to try and fill
And
dead
Dave-
air.
So you just
basically.
go in with
So we
that
panic.
nonsense.
We panic and go say something interesting because Bratters is like he's drowning basically.
And half the time, it's just something that we shouldn't say.
Yeah, because we're like panicked and we've got to say something.
Well,
All
I'd
we
say
know
you guys
is-
need to deal better under pressure. To be honest, I think you put that on me. I think you guys need to have a little think about that yourself.
Right.
All right.
I've thought, and I think you're wrong.
Thank you very much for listening to this week's Video Gamer UK podcast, and thank you to my two co-hosts, David Scammell.
Are we allowed to say things here, or should we be thinking more about what we say?
And Tom Murray.
I would just like to say I'm sorry for my rant earlier, and I hope you have a lovely afternoon, all of you, every single one of you.
It'll probably be evening by the time they listen.
Good evening, have a pizza, chill.
Play your Xbox One. That'd make Dave.
What
really,
do they
very
have to
happy.
get the Halo pizza, Dave?
Yeah.
You're pricks.
Goodbye.